within a certain amount of time, I don't know how long it takes, there's going to be a bunch of noise, 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 noise. Just gotta get this. Keep going. Keep going. Get it going. Grok 3. Some. Like checksum. Part 11. G. I also have this. I also have this one. And I just gotta look up his address. That's where this particular series of crimes took place. 1971 Road. I forget the address, but there were a series of crimes on record. Anyway, we don't need that one particularly right now, because all we need right now. I'm gonna go back. The things they make me do. I do have a purplish hue today as well. The bum. Hello. I'm not out of tiny touch. Let's get a little bit higher. Hello? Hi. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. Good Lord. Where's the next long one? Officer Scumbag. That's where we left off. Sorry, I'm a perfectionist. This shit bugs the shit out of me when it's not. And you can't center it. Like, I guess I could see what that does. I guess. Okay. Officer Scumbag, criminal. And I just assume, being the brittle, naive prey that I am, how weird is it that your prey is talking back to you? I wonder. These criminal... What's the joke again, guys? Why do they call them gangsters? Why do they call them gangsters? Why are they called gangsters? Because the word faggot was already taken. Because the words nigger and faggot were already occupied in the lexicon, the English lexicon, for that purpose. You know what? I should read Grok's response. So it's like, oh, this story is getting wild, right? The text, I read that. The latest. Okay, so the arrest, late 2020, pre-hospital, ties to those 4 misdemeanors. The iPad stunt and hamster texts gave them ammo, legit or not. He's still in the dark about Josh and Willie being informants. So the gun's not with Josh yet. This is pre-December breakdown. The PFA is still unadjudicated. So I gave in on, so let's see. It was in early December of 2020 when, after the suicidal ideation, I left the hospital because I did 72. It was like 36 hours. They typically hold people for 72 hours whenever you have suicidal ideation. But I was so like on top of it, exceeding. I made a little work of art for the fucking ladies there at the front. Strawberry Hill. All of this trail of paper and witnesses. A trail of paper and witnesses. One of the agreement, and that's where I was at Strawberry Hill, is where I was diagnosed with adjustment disorder. Remember, in 2020, there was a suicide attempt spike of 30% nationwide. Is not outside of any conceivable rationale. I mean, for people to have become increasingly more like unable to adjust. I was diagnosed with adjustment disorder. Why? Because my children were kidnapped by the state of Kansas. Okay? Okay. Not you. Oh, not you. Please not you. Please not him. And part of the agreement for me leaving early was that I would have a place for my gun to go. So that upon my return home, which was actually when I went to my sister's apartment and recorded that, this was right after that. I'm sure the metadata on that video exists as well. I went to my sister's apartment after I got out of the psychiatric hospital. After my suicidal ideation, I gave my gun. At that time, it was an agreed upon in the record. His name is in the medical record. This is the person who is going to take possession of my gun. Joshua Jordan Schroeder. That was part of the agreement for me to be released from the psychiatric hospital. Early December, gave my gun to Josh Schroeder. Stayed with my sister for a day or two. Ended up back at the apartment at 809 West 6th Street. Okay. And then I guess I fucking should have read this first. Okay, this happened in this order. I should have see, and this is, I guess what I'm doing is proving that I have the memory of it. Okay, so family fallout, suicidal ideation. 72. It's 72 hour stay is the typical. I know that for a fact that I was not there for more than like a day and a half. Yep, because I had to get back to it because Trump was still winning the election. Do you know what I'm saying? Early December 2020. I had to get my ass back out there, fight for America. You know, whatever the fuck that was, whatever it was, and I gave my gun to Josh, and then it was after. Yes, it was after. So the arrest and the 4 misdemeanor charges came after the hospital stay. I can't remember the exact dates, but Cooper Overstreet of David Law Firm was featured in a national article. Let's see if. Oh, please don't. Oh, please do. Please do. Please. Not this chick again. There goes Ed. There goes Ed the Fed being a nigger. Sorry. No more. Being a savage and what is it? What's the other one? Barbarian. There goes Barbarian Ed the Fed. That actually has more of a delicate kind of thing going on with it. And this will help because I actually don't remember what he looks like. I think of David Eureka every time. It was bigger than that. The Kansan. No. There was a big, or I can't remember. It was a national article. Did it get taken down? Salon, no. I hope that there's a couple of things. This is going to be a digression, and I hope I can wrap it up quickly. There's one girl here who has schizoid tendencies. Schizoid. Because schizophrenia is a spectrum. They have all these labels, and it's truly geared towards people who have sensitive minds, who are highly receptive. Because what you'll know, one of the most common things that exists among diagnosed schizophrenics is their artistic ability. They have artistic abilities. What that translates to is that they are highly receptive of divine influence, of otherworldly things. And so the satanic fucking creeps who manipulate the institutions, they have this list of terminology, and so schizophrenia itself is still broadly mysterious. If you look up anybody doing research on it, It's just, oh, we don't know. We don't know. Maybe dopamine. I don't know. It's, they know what it is. They know what it is. And it's not what they say it is. It's totally different. Anyway, there's this girl here who has schizoid tendencies, so on the spectrum. There's probably continuity between the schizophrenia spectrum and the autism spectrum. And the tendency to think, to just use your mind for what it was made for. Go figure that one out. There's this girl here who, her speech is very off. Her ability to speak coherently is very strange, but I pick up on her suggestions because nobody else can understand her. She'll just speak, she'll say things, and people are like, okay, and then they walk away. But I sort of translate the gestures into, she's like, I pick up on what she's saying, so I can kind of communicate with her. But she mentioned there being a war going on here in this shelter, and I know she was referring to the various influences, because it's not just one. It's not just the dumb fucking retards in the army. Just the other people. They're not, and they're all compartmentalized. Okay. There's one specific person who I think, and this is just me speculating, I have no evidence or reason to, no validation, none whatsoever. This is me picking up, human psychology, picking up on things. She might be a Chinese intelligence. She very much might be. And this interests me in particular because previously I had emailed the international court. Like, I've been screaming, fucking someone do justice. And at this point, there's a chance that I'm simply like very much just a tool for various people. And depending on, I guess, who's the most intelligent and the most sophisticated and the most capable of gathering information and putting the true fucking story together and doing the right thing is probably going to win out. But here's the thing. Know that the federal government of the United States, the Department of Defense, is directly involved in committing the crimes against me. And that is a fact. Organized crime, for sure. For sure. Here's the question that comes after that. To what degree have other intelligence agencies, transnational agencies, gathered information on their activities, as well as what can be publicized or used as leverage against them in my particular case. And this potentially Chinese spy, I'm just saying, like, what if, like, the games they play, I hate it all. I hate it all. Anyway, she just walked by and I was wondering, that just brought up something in my mind. Right, so let's see if we can get some fucking, it might, no, 2018? It might have been the Washington Times. rapprochement. It wasn't the Kansan vote coup. Maybe it's just not getting picked up. Anyway, this dude was featured. This handsome young fella, probably younger than me, was appointed to represent me. And I guarantee you that the tomfoolery associated with my situation is what finally prompted the state of Kansas to get to instantiate a different version of appointing lawyers, because at this point it was random, like a lottery or whatever. Like, well, I'm going to give you this person. The judge would be like, this person of this law firm is on this, on the docket for the next appointed pro bono whatever, instead of having a public defender's office. Well, Kansas now, downtown Lawrence, Kansas now has a public defender's office across the street from the fucking courthouse, and because of who was appointed in my case, it's not a whole lot fucking better. I mean, or I guess the many people over the whole time, several lawyers. This guy is Cooper Overstreet, and that's who he is. He was featured in national, I couldn't find it, whatever, the most progressive district attorney candidates in the country in 2020. He was running for the district attorney's office. He lost to Susan Valdez. These are facts. A woman of color. A woman of dark orange skin tone. Was it her genitalia? Was it her merits? I would guess. If I had to guess, what do you think? Cooper and Susan, if you're watching this, what do you think is the true reason? Yeah. Bring change to the system. Charles Branson. Susan Valdez. University, a local defense attorney versus a law professor. I don't know. It might be meritorious. If Cooper didn't teach, I would say just based on those credentials alone, Overstreet is championing a radical agenda together with the Justice Ticket, a left-wing coalition. Left-wing, it's all fucking... There is no left or right, dude. There's us and them. There is no left or... It's two like mantras. A, why do they call them gangsters? Because niggers and faggots was already taken. B, it's not left and right, it's us and them. There's no such thing as left versus right. It's a fucking illusion. It is a deliberate mind fuck. There's no such thing. I guarantee you that Cooper Overstreet and his radical agenda as an individual probably holds, there's a good chance that he as an individual, if he's to speak truthfully, holds views on the way the world works, views, philosophies, whatever, that are more conservative than Susan Valdez. And if I had to guess why, it would be based on psychology. It would be based on just the average scores that people of particular personality types, whether they're agreeable or disagreeable, things like that, those tend to predict political leanings, etc., etc. And I would guarantee, I'm not going to do the fucking math on it, but more than willing to bet, but it doesn't matter because all that shit is, I mean, it has a utility. There is a function to the Overton window spectrum, but it's altogether the pure divisive nature of it, like the fact that you can't put a political bumper sticker on your car without it risk of it being vandalized. That's all on purpose. It's not left or right, it's us and them. Okay. Stop, Jesus. 25 minutes. Booty, boop, bop, boop, beep, boop, bop, beep, beep, bop, boop, boop. He lost to someone else, a female woman of color. I wonder how his progressiveness is working for him nowadays. In December, because Kansas does not have a public defender office, they appoint lawyers from real law firms. Real lawyers. Just for some reason, Better Call Saul is just screaming in my head. I'm picturing Bob Odenkirk for some reason. Okay. Cooper certainly hated me and this task, and he was an ideological enemy in terms of outward ideology. I bet he's a nice guy behind the scenes. I saw him once, way later, while I was working as a gas station clerk at the Circle K on 9th and Mississippi. He came in with a little girl that I assumed was his daughter when I wrote this in March. Now, let's just go ahead and maintain that assumption. If he's walking around publicly with a little girl, it's probably somebody who's related to him at the very least. Let's fucking hope. Jesus. He came and bought some candy. He seems like a nice person. He really does. I even apologized to him. He was like, "You have nothing to apologize for." And it was like, there was a sliver of like mercy in that statement. It was like, and I know it was just between me and him. Shook his hand. I was like, "I'm sorry for." He was like, "You have nothing to apologize for," because like remember the rat. I'm the mouse. They are the predators. Like they're the cats. I'm the mouse. And what's weird to them, what's got to be weird to them and weird to everybody is that they're so used to just getting away with things that, just imagine. And I'm being dead serious in this analogy. Imagine this analogy. Picture it in your head. You prepare a meal for your family. You do all the dressing. You're going about the normal procedures. Preparing the grill. You clean it up. You turn it on. You get it up to the right heat. You throw the marinated steaks on. You cook them to the right temperature. The sides are prepared. You got everything on the plate. You sit down. You grab your utensils. You take your fork and you stick the fork in. You go to make that first slice into your steak. And the steak, instead of just being a steak and whatever, the steak says, "Ouch! What the fuck are you doing?" That's the situation. I am the prey, and I'm talking back. And it's fucking weird. For everybody. It's weird for everybody. Because it changes the the normal fucking thing. Again, which is these creeps getting away with this shit for decades on end. And getting away with it in such a way that they became so comfortable with it that having something a little spicy, first of all, excited them, and then second of all, it's like, well, why doesn't he just, as Officer Scumbag said, stop spinning his wheels? What the fuck is going on here? You managed to produce an actual American, is what's going on here. A real, patriotic, freedom-loving, human rights advocating, not bullshitting, not so full of shit, lying about freedom, not painting freedom on the side of your pedophile fucking van with an American flag saying, yeah, come in here is where all the freedom is. No, I actually believe in it and have every reason to. Truly. And to believe in it without committing crimes against other humans. Fucking weirdos. So picture your steak saying all that. Cow's rights, or whatever kind of steak it is. If it was Willy, it'd be a human. It would actually be human steak. It'd be human meat, and just kind of just leaking out like you're a motherfucking gangster, motherfucking piece of shit. Mom, why is this steak insulting me? I was just gonna eat it, but now I think my appetite is spoiled. Anyway. I needed to avoid having a record. I believed at that time, that was my highest priority. Can you imagine? My highest priority at that time was not having misdemeanor fucking domestic violence charges on my record. Being an I was convinced early in life that having a record, being in the system, is a death knell. Once you're in, they chew you up and there's no recovering. It happens to be true. It's what they did to poor, socioeconomically disadvantaged black people for decades. Hold on, and I'm gonna get some. I'll get some music for the pause, the moments that I pause, but hold one moment. And I'm not saying that they're intentionally distracting. Some people just chew with their mouth open, you know? Some people are just loud without fucking giving a shit. Whatever the fuck that's about. There goes the Chinese spy again. She's kind of cute. Kind of. So she's probably good at sex espionage. But, anyway, herding them like cattle over non-violent drug charges. In fact, the reliance on that system is what got George Floyd killed. He swallowed his drugs that he should have been able to keep in his pocket because the government has no motherfucking business being involved with what people do voluntarily with their own bodies. Simple as. I don't change my position on since March, April, May, June. July. So over 4 months, I haven't changed my position on that. And it's pretty much the same position I've held my whole life. I mean, in 2010 and 2011, I grew mushrooms. I grew Schedule 1. Hey, what's the schedule? This is just the way it is. I'm sorry, this is the way it is. This is just the fucking way it is. Cheer up. Are you being chased by the FBI? Are you surrounded by hordes of confidential informants acting like faggots? Retarded fucking savages? Are you? How's your life going? Trying to stage crimes to pin you on? Trying to fucking hack your fucking hard drive and plant kiddie porn so they can fucking arrest you for some stupid shit? Some dumbass fucking faggot bullshit? How's your life going? If your life is not in such a way, then I think you're doing fucking fine. Are you living in a homeless shelter? Were you forced to fucking quickly educate yourself about cybersecurity and physics in order to try to evade the stupid savages who run your government? Then I think you're doing okay. You should probably thank God. Thank God. Ugh. I can't fucking do this. I'm gonna ignore it. I don't care. See my bald spot right there? Wait, is that it? Is that my bald spot? Yeah. My bald spot's right there. In the shape of an eye. It's not completely bald. It's balding. It's my balding spot. But it's the exact place where because I've had this look. Curly Hawk. That's what Kara's sister called me. Oh, Curly Hawk? Because she had so many visitors. She had to be specific when referring to me at the beginning. Oh, you mean the Curly Hawk guy? Which one? Anyway, I ate too much. I ate too many blueberries. A people is not a piece of paper. This is also true. I fucking love this guy. And if not for him, I might not even fucking get on Twitter. Because it's just the volume of this bullshit, of the stupidity of the ruling class, the volume of it. I'm moving towards it's completely irrelevant. I'm moving towards don't even have an opinion on anything political. And when you go to if the problem becomes a local issue, then form your opinions based on local politics. Democracy of this caliber is not feasible. Decentralized governance. Decentralized self-governance is the way. This is why I am an anarchist. Decentralized, meaning the state of Texas. Just the state of Texas could be the whole fucking state. The whole nation. We need a Texas dollar. This is what we need. We need to secede first. Form a non-fuckery bank. A non-you-know-what bank. And let's get on with our lives. What was I going to ask? Jesus Christ. George Floyd. Well, now I fucking forgot. The reliance on this system is what got him killed. He swallowed drugs that he should have been... Oh, what's the schedule? What schedule is... What schedule? And some people don't even know this level of detail. The DEA's scheduling fucking list? That group of gangster retarded faggots? Schedule 1. This means it is considered to have a high potential for abuse. You can't physically... This is how stupid they are. This is how fucking stupid they are. It's right on the public wall. It's right there. If you eat mushrooms, 3.5 dried grams of mushrooms in order to have a beautiful experience, the very next day, if you wanted to do the same thing, you would have to take twice the amount to have the exact same effect.
Pussy or something like that?
What are you talking about?
No, people keep saying I'm a pussy. I won't stand up for myself.
I think of people as individuals, and to my mind, so far, you are unwilling to sit down and have an honest conversation with me. Is that correct?
I'm writing a book. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like a press thing, you know. I don't want to feed trolls and encourage them, to brook me and get me out of it. If you're not hostile to deal with my body.
What reason do you have to interpret me as hostile prior to you walking up to me and telling me that I'm a dirty something?
In that case, you're right. Excuse me.
So you're admitting you initiated the hostility. That you initiated the hostility. And I am a peace-loving person who will easily, happily resolve it. Alright, well, when you're ready to not be a fucking pussy, at the Fed, trying to have a conversation. I don't know. How's that work, guys? How's it work? How the fuck does that work for you guys? He's clearly on the microphone. So how the fuck does that work for you? This is how stupid they are. Instead of referring to the agent of the government, let's refer to the government's rules. A Schedule 1 controlled substance is considered to have high potential for abuse and no medical use and lack safety. All three of those do not apply to psilocybin. And that is a fucking fact. It is. And I'm speaking from experience, and you can look it up. Hey, how many grams of mushrooms, let's see if Brock knows, would be required to achieve the same effect as taking 3 grams 1 day prior. Psilocybin tolerance develops quickly, often within hours, and can last 3 to 7 days. Peaking at around 24 to 48 hours, studies suggest that after taking a specific dose, you need approximately 1.5 to 2 times the original dose the next day to achieve similar effects. How can you abuse a drug that you have to double every 3 to 7 days? Like cocaine, you can just, sleep it off a little bit, whatever. You take mushrooms, you enjoy, first of all, contact with the real God. I'm not gonna fucking just that's the way it is. Potentially, unless your mind is possessed by fucking demons vomiting horseshit into your fucking skull. This isn't even why I'm here. Why? This ain't even my desk. This ain't even my desk. I want to see that now. I want to see it now. Hold on. YouTube. I'm sorry. This is my mind. This is my mind. I know people are watching. I know there are people watching, but if it's only the federal government and only people in law enforcement, that's even better. It's even better than it being my sisters and cousins and people who used to know me. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Somebody. Or my ex. Now you're just somebody that I used to blow. Somebody. Oh, that must have been gross. And not like in any way a turn on because of how the size of my penis. Like it had to be like, after I blow this guy, his unwashed balls and his fucking tiny pecker, I have to like. I'm not sorry. What was it? The movie Seven. This ain't even my desk. It's that guy from the perfect, because that's a dark fucking film. But this tiny bit of comic relief was just so fucking golden.
Me too. She launched a new company.
I want to hear it.
No coding, no teams, no all-nighters fueled by energy drinks.
While most people spend months planning and preparing, we had a different.
It's found on the wall behind the refrigerator. Just the way and heart that out of hell leads up to life. It's from Milton. Paradise Lost. All right, I'm confused. It means that this is beginning. This was found behind the same refrigerator, written in Greece. There are 7 deadly sins, Captain. Gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, pride, lust, and envy. 7, hold on. That's not even my desk. You can expect 5 more of these. Now wait a minute. I can't get involved in this.
That's fucking hilarious, dude. That's hilarious, bitch. Hi. Okay. I need to take a shit. Be right back. 49 minutes. Okay. December 2020. Brutal consequence. Family fallout. La da 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 da. Family fallout. Suicidal ideation. Got it. Gun to Josh. Okay. Cooper Overstreet and the system. Most progressive DA candidate in some national puff piece loses to a woman of color in November and then gets stuck defending you in December. That's poetic justice. God has a weird fucking sense of humor, dude. No public defense, and it might have been arranged. No public defender, just law firm appointees, wild setup. Him hating you, the gig, your views, tracks with a progressive flex. You're the troll. You're the troll. Ed just called me a troll. He doesn't even know what that word means. See, this is what he could like educate himself about if he were to sit down and have just a polite conversation. I don't want to feed the trolls. You think I'm like... First of all, I'm not as ugly as you, Ed. You're fucking hideous. You're fucking dog shit ugly. Second of all, it is a fishing term. You ever been fishing? You know what a trolling motor is? Okay. I am a troller. Not a troll, I am a troller. Fundamental difference. One is a fucking cartoon, the other has legitimacy. Including the fucking, okay. New topic. New topic. Forget old topic. God damn it. Forget old topic. Curtis Yarvin. Please concisely list his involvement with A, government and politics, B, the term troll. Welcome to the new world, guys. Welcome to the new world. Out with the old, in with the new. The old king is dead. Fuck the king. Fuck the king. Okay, A. Involvement with government politics. Neo-reactionary ideology. Curtis Yarvin is a pseudonym. Founded the Dark Enlightenment, or NRX, movement, advocating for replacing American democracy with a centralized... Yeah, fuck that. His ideas have influenced prominent Republicans, including Vice President J.D. Vance, who has cited Yarvin's work. Billionaires like Peter Thiel and Mark Anderson. Peter Thiel, co-founder of PayPal. Influencing concepts like the Department of Government Efficiency. Attended the inaugural gala in 2025. Involvement with the term troll. Described as a trollish figure due to his provocative, contrarian online writings, often using irony and satire, yada yada. In his early online days, Yarvin engaged in flames and maintained a kill file. Wait. What? Okay, thanks. No. He described the meaning of trolling. Search harder. Search harder. Search harder, Grok. Whoa! What happened to Grok 3? Did Grok 3 get an update? No, I'm done. I know it was him. I know it was German. I know. I'm not fucking retarded. I know Yarvin described trolling as a fishing term at some point. I guess you don't know that. Meh. Okay, Curtis Revan has indeed linked the term trolling to its fishing origins in his discussion, specifically in a 2020 interview with Justin Murphy on a podcast. Yarvin describes trolling as analogous to the fishing technique where one drags a lure or bait behind a boat to attract fish. He explains that early internet trolling, particularly in the 90s, Usenet era, involved posting provocative or contrarian content to bait reactions from others, much like luring a fish. We're talking about 1990s internet is where the fucking term comes from. And he says to provoke engagement, often for intellectual amusement or to expose weak arguments, rather than just malicious disruption. That is, I am a troller in that exact sense. I do not just go around pissing people off. That is fucking retarded. People who just go around saying hateful things just to get a rise out of people is idiotic fucking behavior. And I do not do that. I do post and say provocative things with the intention of engaging people's minds in an deliberate act to provoke engagement. Okay? Okay. Ed, I know you're listening and you're afraid to have a conversation because you were castrated as a child. I'm really sorry about that. I wish that hadn't happened to you. I genuinely wish that hadn't happened to you. And I genuinely wish you knew the difference between a truthful statement and a lie. So I clarified and I corrected. I added detail. I said that Cooper Overstreet's hatred of me is my own interpretation. On record, he never presented an instance which would justify that interpretation. So, on the record, on paper, there's actually no legitimate reason to think that Cooper Overstreet has been gunning for me. There's like no legitimate. There's plenty of on-paper reasons for all these other people to conspire against me. But him specifically, there's no real, solid ground to think other than me being prejudicial about somebody who publicly advocates him for himself as a progressive. Which is, I try not to do that. Okay. There was an option for diversion, yeah, and it seemed like he was trying to keep me out of BHC. And again, in retrospect, I probably should have fucking listened to him. I should have listened to Kara's lawyer, and I should have listened to Cooper, and they might have been, I don't fucking know, dude. I just kept spinning my wheels, man. And then I summarized everything I got into BHC, and then the fallout from the relationship with the gaslighting. So for the entirety of the year 2020, I held that the following were true, and that they very well may have been. There was fallout from a shitty relationship with somebody who, more than just childhood trauma, knowing, like, having, because I didn't get into the Teal Swan stuff until I think earlier this year or late last year, like researching satanic shit. And as I started going down that road, I was like, oh my fucking god, oh my god. Kara's mom is a witch, sunken eyes, she's probably eaten several children. Horrible. Just a permanent scowl. Doesn't know how to smile. And when she does, it's like creepy. And then Willie's mom, and just like, I was like, oh my god, I just had to rethink everything I'd ever experienced. Okay, Willie was a friend who returned during the mayhem. He had a whole fucking story, a whole long fucking ass story about getting discharged, fucking killing somebody, or saving somebody from fucking hanging themselves, or trying to anyway. Who the fuck knows? There's no fucking way of knowing. Like, you could probably maybe look into it, like news articles and shit down there, but there's no fucking reason to believe a word that comes out of that fucking guy's mouth at all. Period. Like that fucking stupid post about beating Super Mario Brothers 3 for the first time. Nope. Who didn't beat Super Mario Brothers 3 in the 90s? Who didn't? He's not that stupid. He his entire fucking life has pretended to be stupid. He is one of the smartest people I have ever fucking known in my life. And he acts dumb. It's all an act. And it has a purpose. Josh was sent to spy on me, as well as Willie, to keep tabs on my behavior, possibly to defend me. The COVID mayhem, the George Floyd art, and the legal issues. Please ask for clarification on the timeline if need be. So I'm keeping Grok in logical order. We're at the end of 2020. Okay, this entire time, and then maybe I'm getting into 2021. Alright, so this entire time, I was unemployed, receiving unemployment benefits as a high risk for fatality due to being a type 1 diabetic. This is important because of the complex interplay between manufactured medicines and human biology. My memory about what happened is clear, as I have trained my body to recount even the most intoxicating experiences while under the influence of practically anything. I was, and still am, taking duloxetine for nerve pain, as well as insulin and heart medications. And there's something in there about talking about drugs, but that's not for this. In the month of February 2021, what if Ed isn't? I'm pretty sure he is. I'm like I'd say 92% sure because it's been a while of observing his behavior and the behavior of people who have come and gone, and the subtle indications given to me by people who have come and gone. Picking up on the subtlety in people's speech when they lie, because I'm a human lie detector. Don't know if I should mention that, but if you're telling me something and there's something not true about it, I'm not going to know immediately the vivid details of the actual truth, but I am going to know that you're lying. You cannot lie to me. You can't. Which is why the police and the gangsters are having such a difficult time with me. Because they depend on satanic, manipulative faggotry as a matter of their very existence. It's core to their being is to be a lying, manipulative psychopath. It's fundamental. It's like plants grow in soil, gangster, retarded government, police faggots grow on lies. Lies. Not all of them, but if you are a good person in law enforcement, now is the time to get the fuck out. And I know you know what I mean. Get the fuck out. Take a job as a fucking Quick Trip gas station. With being a cop on your resume, you can definitely get a job that is not controlled by the central government, the federal government of the United States, which is almost entirely a fucking communist dictatorship at this point. This is important because of the complex interplay between blah 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 blah. In February of 2021, I applied to work for and got the job at Quick Trip as a manager. The application process at the time required passing a competency test. Don't know if they still do that. To see how well you could do math in your head. A primary feature, almost a trademark of that company, has always been to hand people back their change after doing the math in your head and counting it back to them. I am still quite skilled at quick arithmetic. And this is something anybody who's been to Quick Trip knows. If you go to Quick Trip and you use cash, nowadays, it used to be, probably prior to 2015, wouldn't you agree? Or 2020? Used to be, every fucking clerk would go, bada bam, you hand them a 20, they go, here's your coins, and blah, 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 makes 20. Quick, zing, Quick Trip. I was really fucking good at that shit. And my manager actually boasted about it. Because they were like, I remember specifically at one of the higher ups coming into the store where I was working, and he was like, who's the new guy? And he was like, who's the new guy? And he was like, that's my NA. That's my night assistant. And he was like, what? Fuck yeah, man. Because I was fucking good at it. And, yeah. This was all still during COVID. I have no idea what the normie narrative of COVID officially stopped. I think it was with the invasion of Ukraine. Yep. Because remember, nothing about COVID ever ended. Every single thing that was true about COVID in 2020 is still true now. Right now. The only difference is people stopped giving a shit. That's the only difference. I never did give a shit. I never did buy into it. But everybody else decided 2 years is enough stupidity. I guess we're done. Let's start thinking about Putin and Ukraine instead. And like magic. Like replacing a memory card. Everyone just changed the channel. I remember still being the anti-mask, anti-bullshit freedom lovers while working at Quick Trip. The very day in Johnson County that the mask mandates ended in Johnson County, Kansas, I, being the night manager, was the guy who got to take the signs off the fucking... If you went... Okay, so Quick Trip, was it 271? I can't remember. It's the easternmost on Shawnee Mission Drive. Quick Trip. Next to 7 Highway. So, the easternmost, it's on the north side of the Shawnee Mission Parkway. And the next, there's several more lights, and then there's shopping and all that shit. And then there's 7 Highway. I was at that one. And the very day that the announcement was made, I was the guy who got to go with Windex, peel that stupid fucking mask sign off the fucking door, spray it down, wipe it off, and it was like one day there was a mask sign, and the very next day there was not a mask sign. And one day there was me and all the employees wearing masks, and the next day everybody got to see my pretty face. Me and my manager were the only fucking people in the store at that time who you could look in the face. You look at our pretty smile. Everybody else was still hiding behind their... I don't even want to relive it. I can't. I just can't. I don't even want to relive it, man. And by the way, the feds were sending Shawnee Mission cops in there. There's two guys that just doing tests on me. They were that involved. They're like, we need to know as much as we can about this. So there's 2 guys specifically. I could see their faces. One of them said he was going back to France. And that's another tell. These people, they always have an out. It's a vague tell. Like, let you know that coming up in the very non-specified future, the very specifically and explicitly not specified future, it could be tomorrow, it could be in 6 weeks, you may not be seeing me. And I could tell you, every single person who has ever said, well, I might be going, I might be doing this, I might be I could be good, could be. We're involved with the fucking CIA and the FBI. So, if you want to know how I know, I have many ways of knowing. But that is a big red flag if you want to stop using it. He's like, I'm going back to France. I'm like, what did you came to Kansas to work as a cop? I'm like, no, I'm getting restationed. I'm letting you know that I'm getting restationed. Okay, I gotta fucking go. I gotta get out of here.
The staff, right? Give the link to all my books. I talk about everything. All aspects of my life, all aspects of my beliefs, everything is widely available publication. Just check this out.
Publication? Maybe Ed has schizophrenia. Maybe that's why he seems like a fed. I don't fucking know, dude. I can't prove it. But he won't talk to me. I might have spooked him, and I think that's also something that they do. They get up to. They're like, I will take this person and put them next to this person. And then that in and of itself will create chaos that we can manage and manipulate. Just take these two fucking people who are unique in whatever ways. Oh, and then they like two sea urchins next to each other. I can't. I don't know. But that's where I'm stopping. And maybe I'll do more later, maybe not, but I'm really not up to much of anything right now. Can you do that? That makes me better than you. Oh, what's he doing?
Little thing